I've been using the AirPods Pro 2 for 2 weeks now, and in this review, I'm gonna cover everything I found, both the good and some bad. Also share how they compare to my AirPods Max, which I've used for a long time and loved, and cover some really shady business from Apple. I'm not gonna cover all the specs and details, but I wanna talk about real world usage. And with that, I'm gonna start out with sound quality. I usually leave that to the end, but man, this is amazing. Some people have said that if you want to upgrade just for sound quality, don't do it, but I completely disagree. Starting off with the soundstage, I have never heard any pair of wireless earbuds sound so good. Apple developed brand new drivers for these, so that is part of the reason, but the other part is because they changed the venting system, and that helped increase the soundstage, so you hear stuff a lot wider. It doesn't sound like the sound is just in your ears, but a downside to that is that the sound leakage is quite a bit worse. Not as bad as the AirPods 3 that don't seal in at all, but previously people could barely hear music, and now if you turn it up, they will. Instrument separation has also been improved. In some heavy tracks where you have a lot of different sounds, you can pick up different instruments much better than before. Vocals also stand out more so that has been really nice. But what has impressed me by far the most is the bass. I couldn't believe how loudly these played at 20 hertz. Most lower end sound systems for theaters don't even hit that low, or they're super quiet, where these ones were actually louder than the AirPods Max. Now that made no sense to me because these are over ears. And so I played a 20 hertz test track, and then I opened up the app that shows you how loud it's playing, and the AirPods Pro 2 played at 68 decibels compared to 56 for the AirPods Max. Now, when you're playing that low, a lot of it is bass that you feel instead of hear. And even though the AirPods Max, you feel it all around your ears because they're over ears, these just thumped my eardrums. That made me curious about how low can these play. So I played 15 hertz, and even though it got a lot quieter than 20 hertz, it still was able to play it. I could feel it in my ears, and most music tracks actually don't play this low, so you have to find specialized ones that are tuned for people that have subwoofers in their cars, and it is really cool to have that. Now, for those of you guys who don't like music that has a ton of bass, when you're watching movies and you have these in, the experience is fantastic. With that, these also play louder than the AirPods Max, hitting 101 decibels compared to 99. Now, that is not great for your eardrums, but if you like loud music or you're watching movies, it is nice to have. So overall, it's a huge improvement in every single way compared to the original AirPods Pro. And even though I would say the AirPods Max do sound better overall, I just think that these sound so good that most people don't need these anymore. We'll also talk about noise canceling in a bit. Now, what shocked me even more is the updated Spatialized audio. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of Spatialized audio when it came out, and it was limited to head tracking. When they added the fixed mode, it got better. And in some cases, it did sound good, improves the sound stage, but in many, it was a little bit too digital. But with these and the new personalized Spatialized audio, where it will literally use the LiDAR and scan your ears and the front of your face and adjust that, it is shockingly good. I can't believe that I'm saying this, but I actually use Spatialized audio now more often than not compared to before, where I only use it about 5% of the time. The soundstage is crazy. You hear instruments spread out around you. The vocals are popping forward. And at one point when I was using them, I thought that something fell in the other room because of a sound in a song that sounded so different that I literally thought something was happening far away. It is incredible. Now, most reviewers have said that the transparency mode, it sounds wonderful like it always has, but I've noticed some bigger differences. I think the biggest one is the accuracy of the placement of transparent sound. For example, you're walking outside, instead of hearing sounds and it sounds like it's right there next to you, you can actually pinpoint that a car could be driving from behind you on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side. That is a major improvement, especially for safety. And the new adaptive transparency mode has also been nice to have. Now, I tested this out when I was using my leaf blower, and I thought that it wasn't really making much of a difference holding it at arm's length. And then when I picked it up and brought it closer, it didn't get any louder because it was limiting that sound. And while I wouldn't suggest this to be hearing protection for you, it is nice to have those super loud, annoying sounds brought down. Now, as far as usability, the microphones have also been improved. With the originals, I would always ask people, hey, how do you hear me? And sometimes I'd have to switch over to my phone. I have not had a single person complain about how I sounded, whether connected to my Mac or my iPhone.
Now, as far as microphone quality, the original AirPods, which I'm using right now, they were never amazing, they're okay, and lately they have also been superseded. And this is the microphone quality of the AirPods Pro 2. Now, you guys let me know in the comments if they sound any better.
I've also started to use the new sliding gesture on the earbud to be able to adjust the volume. I had to force myself to do that to learn and remember it, and it has come in handy. I just wish they gave us a control to be able to adjust how sensitive that is, because right now, it barely makes a difference each time you slide. The battery life has been great. I've never had them die on me. Apple quotes 6 hours, and I think it's right there. And while most people will say, I didn't really care about that, keep in mind that after a couple years, the tiny batteries wear out and your original 4.5 hour battery life will be down to 2, and then it really sucks. I highly recommend Apple Care because of that, and being a person that rarely pays for Apple Care, I do with my AirPods, because if the battery capacity goes lower than 80% within 2 years, Apple will replace them, and that is a bargain for the low price that they offer. And now let's talk about noise canceling, because it is shockingly good. Now, I previously mentioned that when I was testing them out in the pouring rain, the higher frequency of the raindrops were quieter than on the AirPods Max. Now, I haven't been able to fly with these yet, but I have an even tougher situation. You guys know what it is. It is my lawnmower that runs at 89 to 90 decibels, and that can harm your hearing in as low as 15 minutes. And the AirPods Pro 2 brought that down from 89 decibels to 62. Previously, I would take home the AirPods Max when I was mowing, and I didn't expect the AirPods Pro 2 to do better. How could they? They're so small. They're not over the ear, and I couldn't believe it when they did a better job. How in the world is that even possible? I also noticed it in my truck when I start up and that V8 is super loud before it warms up. The AirPods Pro 2 did better than the AirPods Max. Now, I honestly thought this has to be a placebo effect, right? You spend money on the device, you want to think that it is better, so I started doing some digging online. What I found was quite shady. A lot of people talking about how the AirPods Max got worse with a firmware update that came out the same day that the AirPods Pro 2 came out. One guy had used his AirPods Maxes for many flights, and now with the update, the active noise cancellation is a lot worse. The plane is noticeably louder, and the new AirPods Pro 2 that he got were a lot quieter. Another person usually didn't hear his Roomba vacuum, but now it is noticeable and audible, and even though he doesn't have the AirPod Pros 2, his original Pros have also gotten noticeably worse from the update that was also auto-installed the day the new ones launched. I think this is quite shady. Even though these perform great, it is really weird to see that other products that were good before got worse. Now, I don't know if that's just to prop up these new ones, or there's new AirPods Max coming out, or what is going on, but that should not be happening. So now I'm thinking, why do I even need the AirPods Max? They do sound better overall, but these still sound so fantastic. These are less convenient. The active noise cancellation works worse, while these AirPods Pros 2 are less than half the price. Honestly, I don't know when I'm gonna use the AirPods Max. Maybe when I need to have it wired to a computer, but with that, the latency on these new AirPods Pros 2 are better. They switch super fast from device to device. If they don't auto switch, you click it, it's done. The previous AirPods, like my 3s, those took quite a bit longer. And to have precision tracking to be able to find them when you lose them. I only had that happen one time when they fell into my couch. It is so stress relieving to be guided to the right spot, to be able to have the little light go off, the speaker in the case to start playing. It is just so nice that that little extra will save you from losing them and having to buy another pair. Overall, I think these are the ultimate earbuds. They're not the best in every category, but for the price, they are great. And if somebody is questioning if they should upgrade, it is an absolute yes for every single category. So I highly recommend them. And I think this might be my favorite product that Apple launched this September. You guys let me know your thoughts. We have links down below. Click above to subscribe if you guys want to see more videos. Check out those videos right over there. This has been Max, and I'll see you in the next one.